Good morning, everybody. This is Pamela checking in on her BitChute and her YouTube audience, letting everybody know that I'm doing about as well as can be expected. My brother has left on his 2 week sabbatical for me to help somebody else that'll help give him a cushion until he could find a job. Because I think his wife got denied unemployment because I think hers is like an independent business. And as to my brother, I don't know if he'll get unemployment because he got notice last month that his Macy's furniture store here in Columbus, Ohio, is going to be shutting its doors once they get the inventory cleared. But since this COVID-19 situation broke out, he hasn't been able to go to work to handle the last rites for that particular business. I hope that everybody takes the precautions that they need to protect their families, their friends, even their pets. I know this is a trying time for everybody. And to the younger generationers out there, take the precautions necessary to protect you. Parents are only doing this because it's for your own good and it's for their own good. It's for our livelihood. Just take it from me. I've been in my house since the end of February. It's not easy. It's hard. I've had some emotional breakdowns. Um, and my whole internal system's been pretty fucked up. Um, Having to run to the bathroom to do a 10-200. If you don't know what a 10-200 is, watch the film Smokey and the Bandit, and you'll get it right away. But my nervous system is shot. Even with sertraline that I take for my nerves, I could still break down. I could still cry buckets when I need to. And believe me, I've done that. And my brother says he's done a lot of crying for all of us. And he says, I want to let you know that I'm going to be going away on a particular job to help a friend for 2 weeks. And he says, I'll call you every night. You could call me at night if you want to. It's okay. And I'll make sure that you're okay. He went out and got my groceries a couple days ago, which I have partaken in, from cereal to a couple of candy bars and some M&Ms with pretzels. That's what I call a good brother. And I'm paying my bills on time and in person. And of course, when I do these videos, I have to pee, but it can wait. But it's called nerves. I've been trying to sleep as much as possible, watch whatever I can on Amazon, and just take things as they come. I know people are suffering from a bad case of cabin fever. Like, why can't I get the fuck out of here? Why can't I go to the movies? Why can't I go to the mall? And to the younger generationers out there, this is serious. They're saying that over 66,000 plus deaths worldwide have happened due to this COVID-19. And in our country, we have 312,249 cases and 8,503 deaths so far here in our country. Not very good odds, but I'm just trying to keep things in perspective. I'm listening to my local governor, and I'm even listening to Mr. Cuomo, who is talking about this. And I've heard of nurses quitting their jobs. I've heard of a young man committing suicide because he was partially bipolar and not able to cope. And, This was over on Facebook. I've been reading about it, where a young teenager had committed suicide because of the COVID-19 situation that we are in. And it turned out that he may have been bipolar, and somebody said that the young man was selfish, that he shouldn't have done what he did, and one other person said, well, you don't know what he may have been suffering from. You don't call somebody selfish. If they killed themselves, there had to be a reason. Um, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I don't go over the edge. So when I feel the need to cry, I do. And when I feel the need to vent, I do. And there's nothing wrong with crying if you're stressed. And my mistake was piling in those emotions and not allowing them to come out. Pure and simple. If you feel like you want to cry, but you have to keep up a tough front, you have to be strong for your family. You have to be strong for your viewing audience. I've learned that you don't have to be Miss Macho Tough Ass Bitch that some know me as. And I've broken down and I've cried. I've cursed about it. I've chastised the president about it. I've even chastised the FLOTUS, the First Lady, for her actions in this. Nobody is going to survive the wrath of the American people. And like somebody said, when this crisis is over, if it's over, direct your anger to the people that knew about this since at least January, if not late December. So think about it. But I want to let everybody know that I'm doing okay, about as well as can be expected. And besides, you wouldn't want to see my dirty old room. I've got stuffed animals piled in one corner, a towel and a Teddy Ruxpin pin in a box in one other section of the room. I've got to clean my room. I'm going to clean it out, and I'm going to be doing something about it. And another thing I want to let you all know. You want to know how I know I have a good family? My brother went out to get me groceries the other day, right? And he had called my sister to see where he could buy me a new keyboard. Because he had my card with him. And my sister said, you don't need to buy no new keyboard. I got one from Adele that she can use. It's a universal keyboard. It'll work on any computer. Trust me. So let me float down here and you can see my new keyboard. Yeah, let me get past this. Better. See, that's my new keyboard. And I have to thank my sister for that. And I did call her, but she didn't answer the phone this morning. So, yeah. So, as you can see, I'm watching Deep CNN, but we're not going to have that on my TV. But, I just want to let you know what was going on with me, that's all. And like I said, we're all doing what we can to keep our houses running and our computers running. Even if it means replacing a keyboard that had all the letters almost faded off of the computer, off the actual keyboard. But I kept the old one for states of emergency, so you never know in my house. But I've had my speakers off because of the buzzing that they're doing. I need to get new speakers. But, I'm just taking these next several months to kind of take stock in what we have. To the younger generationers out there, you need to take this seriously. Don't be like those dips at the beach who went to great lengths to party and have fun, but yet some of them come back with COVID-19. We lost a couple of big names over this situation. I don't know if it was due to COVID, but we lost Bill Withers. We lost the voice behind Cindy Bear and Hanna-Barbera's cartoons, to a family that lost um, a a brother and a mom and some other family members due to this COVID. And it's sad. And you don't have to be showing symptoms to have it. And they're telling people don't take ibuprofen. If you need to take something for pain, take Tylenol. And speaking of that, as my brother was getting ready to pack his things up here the other day to go on this little recon mission, he left me some Tylenol. He says, only use these if you really need them. I don't want you taking any ibuprofen because I know if you have to go out and get the mail, you can go out and get your mail and shit, but you come in, you wash your hands. And I said, I know, come in, wash your hands, maybe change your clothes. He says, well, maybe not change your clothes, but just get your mail, put it in a bag, and bring it in with you. And wash your hands, please. And I said, yeah, I will. But I was serious when I said I would talk to my brother every day, because even though I was half awake when he said goodbye to me this morning, I called him when I fully got up about 10:45 this morning. And he says, Pam. I said, yeah. I said, I'm just calling to find out where you're at. I said, I called Paula's house to thank her for the keyboard and stuff, and not to come in unless I absolutely needed something. But she didn't answer her phone. So, yeah. Well, gang, I'm going to let you go. Take care of each other. I've got to seriously take a leak. Sometimes happens when I do these videos. But I want to let everybody know. Do what you can to protect your family and your friends from this COVID-19. Even if your teenagers hate you for it. You have to be upfront and honest with your kids. You're not the only one that is suffering from this. I'm suffering from it. Your father's suffering from it. Your grandparents are dealing with this. So, it's not fun, but do your best to get through this. Pull out your old video game systems, whether you have a Wii, an Xbox, a PlayStation, PlayStation 2, even your Atari system or your Odyssey if you have one. So, there's always something to do. You just need to find it. But, and I'm going to give you a tip. Just like the Queen has been saying to her people over there in England, use some self-discipline during this worldwide pandemic. And it's really scary. And for God's sake, if you go to your doctor when this is over, you need to thank your doctors and nurses who work hard to take care of you. And especially after this situation is over. I know some of them have fractured under the stress, and that's not to be unexpected. It doesn't make them weak, but sometimes they have to think about their families. But with the not being able to test unless somebody's at death's door, to be admitted to a hospital, that's even more dangerous. But they're saying that half of the deaths that are in this country have come from New York State. So I think of it this way. New York is their version of California. You got Times Square that packs in the people every year at certain times of the year, namely New Year's, and then you've got people that go through Manhattan and the New York Stock Exchange, all the big places in New York City. Um, and it's sad, it really is. But just take care of yourselves and each other. I know it's hard, but you do what you gotta do to get through it, even if it means putting up an old fashioned dartboard and playing dart games, or pulling out a puzzle and doing a puzzle, cranking rock and roll music into your ear hole so loud you could pop your eardrums. So, yeah. But I'll keep you updated on how I'm doing and how I'm feeling. But until next time, take care of each other. And if you have to cry, there's no shame in doing it. I've done it at least twice. And before my brother left last night, I gave him a hug. I gave him a tight hug. And didn't want to let him go. And then he said, "No crying." I held in the tears until after he left. I went into my kitchen, got my headphones, kept my tablet plugged in to play some music, and I grabbed a box of my sugar corn pops, and stood there at the window with paper towels, just sobbing into them. And I didn't want to cry in front of my brother, but I'm extremely sensitive. I guess I take after my dad, because if something sad was going to happen, or you were worried about something, you show your emotion. And he kept saying, "It's going to be all right." He says, "I'll call you every night, just like I promised. And Paula's going to come in and take care of you." And I said, "Well, I don't want her to come in." I said, "My house is messy enough, and she had a fit the last time she was here. And I don't know if I'm going to go out for Easter. I think I'll just stick with my mantra and hang out here. And if I do go out, I'll wash up real good when I come back in. And it's just going to be a matter of wits. So take care of each other. Hang in there. And if you feel the need to bitch, bitch. If you feel the need to cry, you can cry. I give you license to do that. You're not weak if you do. Because if you let that shit pile up inside your soul, it's going to implode. And believe me, I've had a nervous breakdown last week, to the point where I cried for a whole day. And I woke up and I did a video on YouTube. I don't want to share it over here on BitChute because I looked like absolute hell. My eyes looked like they were almost swollen shut. I felt like I had went through a war. So this is wearing on everybody, and it's not just the elitist teenagers. Take it as a learning curve to bond with your folks, because they're right in there with you. Think about it. Have a good afternoon, and I'll get back on sometime within the evening or over the next few days. But for now, I'm going to maintain radio silence and keep tabs on my family, and especially my older brother, who is on a recon mission to help a friend of his. Have a good weekend and have a good day.